Last night, you were somewhere completely impossible. You knew exactly where you were. You felt real emotions. Maybe fear, maybe joy, maybe that specific embarrassment of being at a school exam you forgot to study for, except you haven't been in school for 15 years. Then your alarm went off. And within 60 seconds, maybe 30, it was gone. Not faded, gone. Like it was never there. So here is the question that has bothered scientists, philosophers, and frankly everyone who has ever woken up at 3 a.m. trying to hold on to something that was already slipping away. Why did your brain make that in the first place? Humans have been asking this question for thousands of years. The ancient Greeks thought dreams were messages from the gods, which, in fairness, is a reasonable hypothesis when you have no other working theory. Then Sigmund Freud came along in 1899 and said, "Dreams are hidden desires your brain is secretly trying to act out. Repressed wants, forbidden wishes. The mind's private confession booth." The scientific community took this seriously for decades. Then modern neuroscience arrived, looked at the data, and said, politely but firmly, that Freud was almost entirely wrong. Great, so we threw out the bad theory. Now we have the right answer? We have 7 competing theories. None of them is definitively proven. Researchers who have dedicated their entire careers to understanding dreams will tell you, with a straight face, that they still genuinely are not sure. We have mapped the human genome. We have sent spacecraft to the edge of the solar system. We have taken photographs of black holes. And we still cannot agree on why you dreamt about a talking horse last Tuesday. This is either exciting or deeply unsettling, depending on your relationship with uncertainty. Let's go through what we actually know. The most widely accepted theory today is that dreaming helps your brain sort and store memories. Think of your brain like a very enthusiastic but disorganized office worker. During the day, information comes in faster than it can be filed. At night, the office empties out. What matters gets filed properly. What doesn't gets shredded. Dreaming, in this theory, is essentially the noise the filing system makes while it's running. There is actually reasonable evidence for this. People who sleep after learning something new remember it significantly better. REM sleep appears to be particularly important for emotional memories. Good question. Moving on. This one was proposed by a Finnish philosopher named Antti Revonsuo. And honestly, it is unsettling in the best possible way. The idea is this. Dreaming is your brain running a safety drill. Before humans had houses and locks and alarm systems, the world was genuinely dangerous at night. Predators, rivals, falling off things. Evolution may have developed dreaming as a way to rehearse threatening scenarios, so that when they happened in real life, your responses were already practiced. This would explain why nightmares are so common. It would explain why anxiety dreams, the ones where you're late, lost, unprepared, or being chased, are nearly universal across all human cultures. Your brain is not being cruel. Your brain is running emergency response training that you did not sign up for. The problem with this theory, it doesn't explain nice dreams, why you dream about a perfect holiday or a person you love, or the sensation of flying without anything chasing you. If it's purely a threat rehearsal program, why does the software include a pleasant demo mode? Neuroscientist Matthew Walker argues that REM sleep is essentially emotional first aid. The idea is that during dreaming, your brain replays difficult emotional memories, but this time without the stress hormones that accompanied them in real life. The neurochemical environment of REM sleep is uniquely calm, so you re-experience emotional events in a kind of safe container and slowly strip away the sharp edges. A scary memory going into a washing machine, coming out soft and folded. This would explain why people who are sleep-deprived are dramatically more emotionally reactive. It would explain why a bad day often feels more manageable after sleeping on it. It would also explain why people with PTSD often have disrupted REM sleep. They are trying to process experiences that the emotional regulation system cannot neutralize, so the processing loops without ever completing. The problem, like the memory theory, this explains a function. It does not fully explain the narrative. Why does emotional processing require a story? Why not just run the feelings quietly, without the elaborate cast of characters and impossible locations? Now, here is the theory that will slightly offend the romantic in you. In 1977, psychiatrists J. Allen Hobson and Robert McCarley proposed what became known as the activation synthesis hypothesis. During REM sleep, your brainstem fires random electrical signals upward into your cortex. These signals have no particular meaning. They are essentially neural static, maintenance noise from a system that never fully switches off. Your cortex, being the narrative-obsessed organ that it is, receives these random signals and does what it always does. It tries to make a story out of them. You get a random signal that activates your movement centers. Suddenly you are running. A random signal hits your visual cortex. Suddenly there is a landscape. A random signal involving someone from your memory. Suddenly they are there, inexplicably, in a context that makes no sense. Dreams, in this view, are not messages. They are your brain writing fan fiction using whatever random ingredients it happens to have lying around. This is humbling and a little bit funny. The problem, random signals, still doesn't explain why the stories are so often emotionally resonant. Pure randomness shouldn't produce recurring themes. It shouldn't produce dreams that feel significant. If it's just noise, why does the noise so often feel like it means something? This one has the most famous supporting evidence of any theory on this list, and it involves both a sewing machine and the structure of benzene, so stay with me. Multiple scientists and artists throughout history have reported having genuine creative breakthroughs during dreams. Elias Howe, who invented the sewing machine, reportedly solved the problem of the needle's eye placement in a dream. August, Kekulé figured out the ring structure of benzene after dreaming of a snake eating its own tail. Paul McCartney woke up one morning with the melody for Yesterday fully formed in his head. He thought he must have heard it somewhere and spent weeks checking it wasn't someone else's song. The hypothesis is that during sleep, the brain loosens the tight constraints of logical, sequential thinking. The sensors go quiet. Associations that your waking brain would dismiss as too strange are allowed to run freely. Occasionally, one of those strange connections turns out to be the one you needed. The problem, for every person who solved a problem in a dream, there are several billion who dreamt about something completely useless. Anecdote is not data. This theory may be describing a side effect rather than a purpose. Here is a newer and stranger idea developed by researchers including Eric Howell at Tufts University. The brain, in this view, uses dreaming to protect itself from overfitting. Overfitting is a term from machine learning. It happens when a system, human or artificial, learns its training data too precisely, and as a result loses the ability to handle anything new. It becomes excellent at the specific situations it has seen, and brittle in the face of anything else. Dreaming, the theory proposes, deliberately introduces noise and variation into the brain's model of the world. The strange locations, the impossible combinations, the familiar faces in wrong contexts, these are not bugs. They are the brain stress testing its own understanding, making sure it stays flexible, making sure it doesn't calcify around today's experiences and lose its ability to handle tomorrow's surprises. Your dreams are weird on purpose. The weirdness is the point. This theory has mathematical support, which makes it either reassuring or ominous. Another fascinating idea is that dreams evolved to help us practice social interactions. After all, for most of human history, survival depended less on fighting lions and more on navigating other people. Who could you trust? Who might betray you? Who would become an ally? Dreams place us into complicated social situations where we can safely rehearse emotional responses. That's why so many dreams involve conversations, misunderstandings, awkward moments, reunions, or conflict. Your sleeping brain is essentially running simulations of human relationships. Sometimes the people aren't even themselves. They're emotional placeholders wearing familiar faces. That would explain why someone from your childhood suddenly appears at your office, or why your best friend somehow becomes your dentist. Dream logic isn't trying to recreate reality. It's trying to recreate emotion. And honestly, this may be the closest we've come to understanding why dreams feel so strangely personal. So, which theory is correct? The honest answer is probably none of them. At least not by themselves. The brain is rarely doing only one thing at a time. Dreaming may help consolidate memories, regulate emotions, rehearse threats, inspire creativity, and keep our internal model of reality flexible, all during the same night. Nature doesn't usually build single-purpose systems. It builds tools that solve many problems at once. And maybe that's exactly what dreaming is. Every single night, while you're completely unconscious, your brain is carrying out one of the most sophisticated processes in nature. It builds worlds, it creates people, it invents conversations, it writes stories, it solves problems, it relives your past while quietly preparing you for the future. And then, just before breakfast, it deletes almost all of it, which might be the strangest part of all. The next time you wake up from a dream that made absolutely no sense, remember that somewhere inside all that beautiful chaos, your brain may have been doing exactly what it evolved to do. We just haven't figured out exactly how yet. Have you had strange dreams lately? Subscribe for more Dream Journey.